everybody, it's David from Red Wagon Dioramas. Another month has passed, so it's time for another monthly pickups video. So this is 6 figures a month for the month of July 2025. I do have to say I'm a week late on this video. I totally lost track of the calendar last week and I posted that flea market walkthrough video and totally forgot that, hey, that was my 6 figures a month video date. One of my commitments on the channel has always been to hit that 6 figures a month video at the end of every month because it gives me a time to be like face to face with you guys. It also gives me an opportunity to kind of share some of the stuff I'm collecting that may not necessarily be Star Wars and may not be like highlighted on the channel. And actually this month, I only have one Star Wars item for July. Wow. Now it's a biggie and it's number 1 on my list, but everything else is actually non-Star Wars, which is unique for me. I do want to say I'm actually really excited to make the 6 figures a month video for next month for August because just last weekend I picked up a bunch of cool stuff. So it's kind of weird making this video now with all the stuff from July when I really want to feature the stuff that I have for August, but I'll wait another 3 weeks and I'll put those out at the end of this month. Now the big thing that happened in July was ChrisCon. This was a local toy show put on by my friend Chris, and he had a bunch of vendors come in and everybody was buying and selling mostly modern figures with some vintage stuff too. It was a little different than what we did in the past because it was strictly toy show, but it was basically a lot of the same people that came in from around the New England region and even New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. A lot of the Mythic Legions collectors and crowds were there. You can watch my highlight video on the channel here if you want to see more about that show. Now I did have one of my teenage sons with me at the show. I paid him a little bit to help me man the booth for the day. So actually a couple of his pickups from ChrisCon are going to make the video this month because they're really cool and I wanted to feature them on the channel. All right, so let's get into this month's pickups for July 2025. All right, number 6 this month is going to be a Marvel Legends figure. I was at Target earlier in the month and I did find a Rogue. As I mentioned in last month's video, I do have that made-to-order Sentinel figure on order from Hasbro, the X-Men 97 Sentinel. So that's supposed to be coming in, I think, later this fall. I do plan to make a small diorama setup with the Sentinel and a couple of the X-Men figures down here in my collection room. So I have been picking up a couple of the figures as they've been coming out. I do have the previous release of Rogue from Target and totally different sculpt, you know, different hair, face. This Rogue was a Target exclusive, I think maybe like 2022 or 2023. It's a great figure. I've had it for a while. I almost didn't pick this one up, but there are slight differences with the new figure, mainly that she's got the pinless body and the head sculpt's a little different, the coloring's a little different. So we'll see. I'll end up comparing the two of them when I open her up eventually when that Sentinel gets here. But anyway, that's gonna be my number 6 this month is the Marvel Legends Rogue from X-Men 97. Now number 5 this month is a G.I. Joe classified figure. I have been picking up some of the retro carded G.I. Joe figures. This is Rock and Roll, of course. He just came out a couple weeks ago. I only saw him the one time at Target, so I grabbed him. I did have the original Rock and Roll figure as a kid, and I do enjoy this line that Hasbro's doing with, you know, kind of revisiting the original vintage color schemes and such for the characters. Plus, you get the card back on the back. It's pretty cool. Of this wave, you got the Viper, you got Rock and Roll, and Dr. Mindbender. I have the Viper. I don't have Mindbender. I'm not sure if I'm going to grab him or not. I'm not getting everyone, but I'm getting the ones that are kind of more nostalgic for me. I'm looking forward to the Bat, actually. I do have the Bat on pre-order, so that's going to be cool when it comes out. I was trying to think which are my favorite figures in this carded retro line, and I wanted to say like Storm Shadow number 1, but I also really love the Cobra Commander with, you know, the shiny vac metal faceplate. And I love Destro and Baroness too. So anyway, it's great to add more figures to this line. I have a small assortment of them hanging up down here. I'll show you a little clip of those. So anyway, that's my number 5 this month is going to be Rock and Roll from the G.I. Joe Classified retro carded line. All right, number 4 is another Marvel Legends figure this month. This is Psylock from the 2-pack with Thanos, the Gamerverse 2-pack they've been putting out. This was the Target exclusive figure. I didn't find this. My friend Mike found this locally and he set one aside for me, so I bought it from him. So thanks again, Mike, for picking this up for me. I've always been a fan of Psylock, you know, sexy ninja girl with psionic powers, really cool. We do have the previous Psylock figure in the collection somewhere upstairs, but my son's, you know, got that mixed in with his. And I wanted the newer sculpt here with the pinless body. I do wish there was a little bit better articulation with the hips, but overall, it's a really cool figure and a lot of fun to play with. The effects that she comes with are just awesome. You know, and the Thanos figure is kind of a throwaway for me. Wasn't really interested in it, but my sons like it. They love Thanos. They like villains, so they were really happy put that into their collection. So win-win for everybody. I get this awesome Psylock figure and they get a new Thanos for their collection. So she makes my list this month. Number 4 is Psylock from Marvel Legends. All right, guys, so that brings us to the top 3 this month. They are all items that we picked up at the ChrisCon toy show. There was a ton of people there at the show. I mean, probably had 400 or 500 people come through. But as far as like the vendors, we had 4 Horsemen there selling Mythic Legions and Cosmics. We had Bobby Vala there doing Valaverse Action Force. Articulated Ninja was there. Dan Larson from Secret Galaxy came down. Jared Sir Dork was there from New York. We had some awesome diorama makers, some custom head vendors. Just a lot of cool product there in the room, a lot of creativity. So if you want to see more about that, again, watch that video on my channel. All right, but back to this month's list. Number 3 this month is going to be a figure that my son picked up at the show, and this is a Mythic Legions figure he picked up. He grabbed one of the Snake Soldiers here, these guys. I could be wrong, but I think this is one of their exclusives this year that they've been, selling at the different shows. Really cool figure. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Mythic Legions in person, they are like a work of art. I mean, when you look closely at the sculpting and the paint detail, it's just amazing. Now this figure, I think this one was $40 at the show. Their figures range in price usually from around $40 to $50. Depends on the size and all the accessories and everything. But this guy's great. He's got a swappable head, a bunch of hands, a couple different weapons. Soft goods are all wired. It's hard to describe the differences between Mythic Legions and like the other standard toy lines like Hasbro's Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series, for example. They're just so much better. They're just so much more detailed. I don't know. It's like, I want to use words like exquisite, like craftsmanship. They're just beautiful. They're beautiful works of art for figures, and they're a lot of fun. So this is my 14-year-old son who likes these. Again, we don't have. I think he has like 2 other Mythic Legions from past shows, so it's not like he's a big collector of them, but he really likes picking them up, and I can see why. They are just really cool looking figures. So anyway, that's going to be number 3 this month, the Snake Infantry Soldier here. But yeah, what a cool figure. What a fun figure to play with. Number 2 this month is going to be another Mythic Legions figure that my son picked up, and I really like this one. He made it high up on my list. This is the Knight that came out. I think it came out last year. Maybe it's this year. I have seen this figure at my friend Chris's house. He loves this figure. I know this is one of his top figures of the year. And he's right. It's just a really cool figure. I mean, very basic medieval knight look, the white and red cross tunic, the shield, the sword, it's got 2 swappable faceplates plus a helmeted head, a bunch of different hands and accessories. Really cool. Just as I was holding this thing and playing around with it and posing it, I just had a lot of fun with it. So I'm glad my son picked this one up. I think this is a great action figure. Again, really a work of art when you hold it in your hand. I mean, look at the chainmail and everything, the detail and the paint and all that. Just awesome. So anyway, Mythic Legions, I am really blown away with them every time I see them in person and every time I handle them. It's just, I'm already collecting Star Wars and these other lines, and I just can't get into Mythics right now. But I understand those of you who do or collecting them, you must be having a lot of fun with this line because they're incredible. So that's my number 2 this month, the Medieval Knight from Mythic Legions. All right, guys, so that brings me to number 1 this month, and it's a Star Wars item, as I promised. I'm holding it right now. It's pretty darn heavy. It's big. And if you see my ChrisCon video, you saw what I picked up at the end of the show, and that's what's making the top of the list this month. I picked up the big Millennium Falcon. Look at this thing. I can't even get it on screen. It is just huge and awesome. Now, I know this has been out. When did this come out? 2008, I think, the first time. So it's been, geez, almost 20 years. Now, I never had one of these. I've actually only seen them in person a couple times. And there was one at the show. My friend Seth was selling his. I got this from Seth at the show. And I kind of talked to him beforehand. I was like, man, I'd love to get a Falcon like that in my collection. But, it's not like really super important. However, if it's still there at the end of the show, I'll come talk to you. And that's what I did. He didn't sell it in the show, so he gave me a little deal on the price, and I walked away with the Millennium Falcon, and this thing is just amazing. I don't have time right now to show all the buttons and features and everything. Maybe I'll do a full video on it on the channel later. But, I mean, it does have lights and sounds. The interior is awesome. This is the one that can seat 4 people in the cockpit. The only thing that's missing from this are the missiles that shoot off the front and off that escape pod ship. But otherwise, it's complete, and everything works. The other thing is Seth said the landing gear had been glued on permanently, but that's fine. I plan to display it, with the landing gear down anyway. Anyway, pretty happy. You guys know how much I love Star Wars, and finding a ship this big is just really cool. What an amazing piece. If I angle the camera up, you can see my childhood Falcon right up there. See that? That's my Kenner Falcon when I was a kid. And that's the only Falcon I've had in my collection until now. And you know, see the difference in size there. Yeah, it's just really cool. So I'm very excited with this. I look forward to having some playtime with this, honestly, getting some of my figures out and having some fun with this. And now I gotta find a place to put it. Where do you put these things? They're huge. Collector problems, right? All right, guys, so that'll do it this month. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please leave me a comment below. Hit the like button for me. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And I will catch you guys on the next one. May the force be with you. Bye.